Yo, boxing aficionados. What's up? What's going on? Hey, yo, check this out. Been wanting to make this video for quite a while now. A video focusing on one of my favorite fighters of the young generation. And by what I mean young, although the young man is 27 years old, but he's just reaching contender status in the featherweight division. His name is Bruce SHU SHU Carrington. And the reason why I'm so excited for Bruce SHU SHU Carrington is this. Is that right now, I love to see fighters develop from like day one or fighting 4-rounders, and try to predict what their ceiling may be. For me, for SHU SHU, I was head over heels as soon as I saw him in the in the 4-rounders and 6-rounders they took part of, and I was so struck by him because of his style. His style, very reminiscent of James Toney. That inside, stay in the pocket, grinded out style that James Toney mastered. Hidden, don't get hit, or be defensively adept at parrying inside the pocket while delivering body blows and uppercuts. That's what James Toney used to get down, and I really paid attention to James Toney fights. I think it's back in the early 90s. And I see so much of SHU SHU Carrington. I see so much of James Toney in SHU SHU Carrington. And the reason why I'm so excited about him is because right now, he's got no belts, but he is on the precipice of having the world of boxing in his hand. Not the world of boxing, but certainly if he plays his cards right, all his cards are in a row, all his ducks are in a row. All he's got to do is knock him down. With the win over Suleiman Sagawa, who's a tough customer, tough, strong guy. A lot of people don't realize that Suleiman Sagawa actually had fought above 130, which would make him lightweight. It was actually a catch weight of 131 or 132. I think he fought Jumaine Ortiz. And he fought Abraham Noba. 2 contenders he fought. 2 guys who fought for belts. Suleiman Sagawa has on his resume at 2 divisions above the division that he's in, that he fought against SHU SHU at. And I'm not saying that Sagawa is some kind of weight bully. All I'm saying is that the guy is strong at 126, and that's why he was able to open up a can of whip ass on highly touted, well-respected Ruben Villa for in the elimination WBC elimination bout for a shot at Ray Vargas. And therein lies why I am so excited for SHU SHU Carrington. SHU SHU Carrington is in a very rare position at Top Rank, in that the money man in his division, or the money man in and around his division, is in the Top Rank family. That guy is Inoue. Naoya Inoue. Probably the #1 fighter in the world. It's either him or Terrence Crawford. Hands down. It's not Canelo. It's not Usyk. It's, well, you could say it's Usyk too. So it's either him, Naomi Inoue, Terrence Crawford, or Usyk. Although traditionally, heavyweights don't get put in pound for pound rankings just because they are heavyweights. But in the case of Usyk, he was a cruiserweight moving up as an undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, moved up and has become undisputed at heavyweight. So how can you deny him being pound for pound? So it's in that mix. The point is this, that for SHU SHU Carrington, it's very rare that a top-ranked fighter, how can I put it, that a top-ranked fighter has the biggest fight or the biggest money fight he can make within the top-ranked family. In the case of SHU SHU Carrington, for example, if you compare him to previous situations, not since Manny Pacquiao's days, the top rank not since Manny Pacquiao's days has top rank had big money fights within the top rank family. Manny Pacquiao took on, had Cotto, he had Marquez, he had Barrera, he had all the Morales, all within the top ranked family, or at least was able to get those fights. By the time Crawford came about, it was about streets, crossing of streets, and promotional companies, and even at the end of Manny Pacquiao's career, he couldn't get Floyd or any of the welterweights, the young welterweights, Danny Garcias, the Lamont Petersons, none of that. He couldn't fight them simply because he was with Top Rank. And people were being critical about the opponents that he had on the Top Rank side because they weren't PBC elites, because and all those PBC guys were under the Floyd Mayweather umbrella, which completely legitimized them illegitimately. It was Floyd Mayweather's aura that legitimized all those sacks of garbage that they had at welterweight. But that's neither here nor there. In the case of SHU SHU Carrington, then came Crawford, and Crawford's nemesis was Errol Spence, and he couldn't get the Danny Garcias, he couldn't get Ugas, he couldn't get none of those guys, because he was with Top Rank, and so on and so forth. That's been the story of Top Rank's recent life for fighters, for their fighters. Shakur can't get Tank. Crawford couldn't get Spence. Navarrete couldn't get Ray Vargas when they were at 126. It's just crazy because of these sides of the street. But in the case of SHU SHU Carrington, he can get whoever he wants at 126. Right now, he's got a mandatory. He just got the eliminator for the WBC belt against Ray Vargas. There's Nick Ball, who is with Frank Warren. Basically, that's Top Rank UK. You got Angelo Leo already in the Top Rank family, right? And you got Espinoza, who's a top-ranked fighter. So he could get a shot at Ray Vargas via mandatory. he could get a shot at the winner of Espinosa versus El Tren Ramirez. Is that what's his name? The Cuban guy that I forget his name, but after they make their rematch, he can get the winner of that fight, Espinosa. What the hell is the Cuban guy's name? Well, you know who the hell I'm talking about. Or he could get Angelo Leo or Nick Ball. So he could become at least unified at 126 quite easily, while Naoya Inoue finishes up handling business at 122 and building himself up into 126. He could get these belts, and just like Stephen Fulton, Neri, and all of them did with Inoue, who was coming up from 118 to 122. He could wait for Inoue to come up to 126. And it'll be a huge fight, provided that SHU SHU Carrington continues in his winning ways and showing the character and charisma that he has. He has a lot of character, a lot of charisma, and he's an exciting fighter, which is something that was absent from Shakur Stevens. So he's got all those things, all these, all these benefits right in his career right now. Like I said, he can get the shots at these belts within the Top Rank family, all except for Ray Vargas, but he's in mandatory position. He won an eliminator, so he could get Ray Vargas in the ring, and everything else he can just execute. If he can win and run the table and at least become unified, he'll have to. Naoya Inoue will have to go see him when he comes up, if he comes up. Might be a while now. Naoya Inoue doesn't need to rush getting out of 122. He knows that after getting knocked down by Neri, that it's getting more and more difficult for him at the higher weight classes. And it is not going to be easy. And quite frankly, he's the money man in and around that division by a lot. Because if you look at it, Canelo, people that fight Canelo can make, maybe $9-10 million, just like the Puerto Rican kid did a couple of weeks ago. Berlanga. He could put that kind of money, but proportionately, the people at 168 are already making, the higher caliber people fighting each other. They make $2 million, they make $2 million. You can make $1 million, whatever. But in the lower division, there's the newer paycheck, $3 million, and then like literally peanuts if you're not fighting in Inoue. Because at that division, at 118, they're getting paid. And if you're not Bam Rodriguez, if you're not something like that, or what's his name, Chocolatito, and those really, really low divisions, if you're not Chocolatito, you're not sniffing $1 million. Even Chocolatito didn't ever really make $1 million. And here is Inoue's opponents getting $3 million. Fulton got $3 million, while Inoue is making, 10, 12 million in Japan. a fight. 15 million in Japan. So SHU SHU is in the right place to get the names, the belts, and the money right within the Top Rank ring. And that is what I've been thinking. I'm like, wow, it's been a long time that Top Rank can make big fights within their own realm, just like they did when Pacquiao fought Cotto. I think that was like the last time they made big money within the house, in-house big money. I really think it was. Am I right or wrong? Pacquiao, Cotto was the last time they made big money in a big pay-per-view. And I'm not saying that a SHU SHU Carrington would be a pay-per-view fight, but it certainly will be a big money fight, especially if it takes place in Japan. But it's also the type of fight, depending on what SHU SHU does here on out and how he moves and how Top Rank moves him, it could be a really big fight in the United States, especially in New York. And here's the thing. This is what I really want to get at. If Top Rank does not take SHU SHU Carrington up the WBC route and challenges Ray Vargas for that green belt, and instead they opt to take him out the usual WBO route, I am going to be completely disgusted with Top Rank, and I would call it promotional malpractice. I know that term doesn't even probably exist, but promotional malpractice and negligence on Top Rank's part if they don't secure him a shot against Ray Vargas. So here it is. Ray Vargas is a great name at the featherweight division. He's a great name. Probably one of the best name at 126 is Ray Vargas. He's been a champion a long time, and he's Mexican. So if you make SHU SHU Carrington, here you have a SHU SHU Carrington against Ray Vargas. Here you have the whole black versus Mexican dynamic going on, right? You have the great name of Ray Vargas to put on your resume that's going to make your resume glow, right? In the 126 division. I don't think there's a better name than Ray Vargas. I mean, the guy, let's give him credit. He's been around for a long time. He fought Nick Ball in Saudi Arabia. He's been around. He's fought the names of his division. And he's got the WBC belt. So if you can defeat Ray Vargas, the world is your oyster, because then you can get Nick Ball in the UK, maybe, in a unification, make big money there. Get the winner of Espinoza, is it Ramirez? El Tren Ramirez, I think it's Ramirez, his last name is. But the Cuban guy that Espinoza beat once their rematch. Now you got 3 belts. You got Angelo Leo there. Another Mexican fighter, a Mexican defender. Those are big. Those are the kind of fights you want to have. Because one of the things that you want to have as a black, you really want to create rivalry with Mexicans and Mexican boxing fans, because that's how Mayweather did it. You know, not that SHU SHU can become a next Mayweather, but at the very least, he can, raise the ire of Mexican fans, who will then back up some other Mexican to beat him down the road. In the meantime, while Inoue comes up to 126. And I really see that could be a huge fight that wouldn't then necessarily have to take place in Japan. Although, Inu is the money man. But if SHU SHU Carrington can become a unified part, or, wow. Or even they make a round robin at Top Rank once he gets the Ray Vargas belt, and with Nick Ball in them, and try to get a unified, undisputed champion for Inua to face coming up. I'm sure the Sheik would be interested in that kind of bankrolling that fight. It would be tremendous. Maybe put it in Riyadh, part of Riyadh season, whatever. Whatever you got to do, you're right in the conversation. SHU SHU is on the precipice of really being in some big fights, and I'm so excited for that kid. I am so excited. He's such a good interviewer, man. Interviewee. I know that Top Rank and loves to play up, the whole poor black kid from the ghetto, violent shit. That's what liberals do. Always, go overboard with the plight of the black kid, and then fine, that's fine. All sad, and that's that whole liberal shit. But on a real level, SHU SHU Carrington is just a great young man with a good head in his shoulder. And yes, he overcame a whole lot of shit, but what did he do? Just stay focused on his craft to get to where he's got to go. And he's on the precipice, like I said, of being right there. And a win over Inoue. First of all, I would definitely be cheering, rooting for SHU SHU Carrington. I would love to see that. That would be like some Cinderella shit, man. That would be like awesome. To see that kid come up and get that, and the world is his oyster. He beats Inoue at that point, and still be with Top Rank. Man, that'd be huge. And then SHU SHU, as he gets ages, could maybe end up in the flyweight. In the lightweight division. Depending on whatever. But that's neither here nor there. We're looking too far. But like I said, that's what a fan does. Gets passionate about a fighter or a fight. And that's what I want everyone that sees videos on boxing aficionados to really just be able to be a fan of the sport, and bring about passion, man. Look at the sport passionately and not be afraid, be a fanatic, because that's the only way we actually grow the sport of boxing, is if we allow ourselves to be passionate and stop denigrating people's trying to put out the fire, people's enthusiasm. We don't have to curb our enthusiasm. What we need to do is fan those flames so the sport can grow and we can see more and more bigger fights. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. This is Boxing Aficionados. I'm out.